Okay, so I have to turn this thing upside down because I can't. There's just nothing there. Oh my gosh. Whoa. I wonder if it's like upside down there. It probably is upside down. It's definitely upside down. Can't see shit with the light either. Dude, I can't actually set this up. Top. Fans. That's what I think it says. Dude, can I like rotate this, please? Can I please rotate this? No, it's not working. Alright, well. Maybe. Hang on. Oh my gosh. Like, look at this. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. Well, you know, it would be nice, but it's just not going to work. I don't think the light's going to work. I don't think the light's going to work at all. Oh, I'm just wasting some time here. So we got the background in case so you can see the whole thing. I'm on a mattress so I don't kill myself. And I gotta get motivation playing because 1,000 sit-ups is just, I've done it a few times. Well, I'm gonna count out loud too. But David Goggins' motivation. Alright, I'm gonna start it now. But it's gonna go all the way down. Okay. All the way down? No, all the way back up. That's gonna be one. I'm gonna do that 1,000 times. Or times 2. 1, 2, 6, 7, 8, 9, I just need some this. Okay, I know. I know now. What I'm gonna do. Yeah, fucking 3 minutes will work. No. I think I like this. Pretty simple. Okay, I'm gonna start over just because that doesn't count. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 17, 18, 19, 21, 20, 22, 23, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41. Just to reiterate, we're going for 1,000 push-ups or until something breaks. And then I'll reveal all my fishing secrets that I used this summer. And what did and didn't work. Just gonna put a pin in the number 50 right now. I'll start it back on 50. But flathead season was absolutely horrible. Absolutely horrible. This year, maybe I caught maybe 2 decent ones. My friend Loki, well, I should say, Loki caught like 3 or 5. No, he got way more than 5. His biggest was 33 pounds. Mine, my biggest this year was 29. I couldn't even break 30 this year. Pretty sad. Closing in on 100. I'm gonna count out now again. 70, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76. Oh, this is getting annoying. 77, 78, 79, 80. I thought it would be nice to have background music, but that is just not. I'm doing about 3 things at once right now. I'm trying to do sit-ups, 1,000 sit-ups. I'm trying to count on my fingers without losing count. And then I'm also trying to talk about fishing so I don't lose my audience. 91, 92, 93, 4, 95. So as the season close starts to die down, the water starts to get a little colder. This is probably the last month where I 100. This is the last month that the flatheads will continue to bite, which is sad, because I got skunked this year. And I think it's because, 1, overfishing in the area, and 2, I don't even know. It's probably the rig I'm using. I've been using the 3-way swivel rig this whole year, and rarely shied away from it because it works. And I've been tying them and losing them, and I mean, that's the whole idea of it, so that if it gets stuck, you lose the weight and not the fish. 121, or 121, I think. Okay, well, this one's going to be 125 regardless. And I've been so focused on using that three-way swivel rig that I completely shied away from every other method. And Loki has had tremendous success. He has caught about, I think he's on his like 30. Just, we'll upload a video coming up. He took a little trip to the Neuse River and he caught one without even trying. He wasn't even trying for flatheads. But he was setting up his new gar rig. I'm at 143 now. And but Loki uses a weird rig. And I don't even consider it a rig. Because he uses just a goddamn hook, one of those slider swivels, and like no stopper bead. So the hook and the weight are just, and the weight's just sliding up and down the line, running into the hook constantly. I would use at least some sort of leader and some sort of bead to stop it. Because I would think, they pick it up, they see that weight flopping around, they're going to get scared, they're just going to drop it. But, fuck me, what do I know? And then the other interesting part about it is the only flatheads I've recently caught were not even a pound. I'm using bait that's as big as they are, and I'm just getting like minnow-sized flatheads. So I don't know what that's about. I was hoping to break 50 pounds this year on the scales, but still suck at 47. Now, we did catch some new fish this year when we went up north. And I got some good videos I'll upload soon of our salmon trip. We caught about 11 salmon and on Lake Ontario. 3 of them over 20 pounds. It was just a hell of a fight. The video's insane. But, we can't have salmon here because it's too fucking warm. So, getting salmon off the list of fish I need to catch was a huge one. I actually expected that one would come later in my life when I have more money, but that was special. Still haven't, me personally, I haven't caught a walleye yet. Loki has caught a walleye. Hayden's caught a walleye. My cousins Kobe and Luke have both caught walleyes. I think I'm the only one who hasn't caught a walleye. We're at 200. We'll just Let me think. I think it's like 240 or something right now. And my fingers, counting on my fingers has proven to be absolutely like just worthless because I can't focus. I want to talk about fishing. And I want to reach, well, I'm going to reach 1,000 sit-ups. It's just not an option. Been tying shark rigs in my free time. Got somewhere in here. No, I can't do it right now. But I just copped some stainless steel construction wire cable off eBay, and because it's actually cheaper than buying a whole shark rig itself. So I bought this whole spool of stainless steel construction wire. Breaking strength is like 130. It says, but I think it could like pull a boat or something, man. And then I got the crimp wrench from Amazon, and that thing has been just amazing. I'll put a link to it because it's so good for, it's not only good for cutting wire and crimping wire, but it can crimp mono and copper and steel. And I don't know, if you want to use fucking weed whacker wire for your shit, you could. But it's like an all-purpose crimp tool. And I'm planning on using some of it for yeah, I'm losing my train of thought. Planning on using the crimp tool and some of the knowledge that I learned from salmon fishing this year to rig up all my Penn Senator reels at the beach. With that being said, they're old as fuck, and half of them don't work, but I have about 6, so it should be nice. And the technique that I'm thinking of doing is one that I learned while salmon fishing in Ontario, which I thought about it, but I just, never seen anybody do it until then, so I thought I was like crazy for thinking about it. But I'm gonna use thick, like 8 strand braid, probably something like 60 plus pound, I would think. Maybe even 100. Now I'm thinking about 100 pound would probably be better. Mono would work too, but I think for the backing purposes, braid would be a little bit smoother. And so I'm gonna tie on maybe half a spool, about 100, 150 yards of braid. And so the spool will be like 1/3 full with braid. And then I'm gonna do an Albright knot, which I learned it's been saving my ass from losing too many rigs. But the Albright knot, and I'm going to use straight up copper wire then as fishing line. And the reason is so that it sinks faster. And because I'll be using it in salt water, it'll be like tooth resistant, so I mean sharks can't like snap me off all the time, and bluefish won't be able to tear it to shreds. And when I get my first barracuda, I'll land it. But, and then, so I'll fill up the rest of the reel with copper wire, and I'll do that on about 2 rods. Only 2, just because I don't want to, like, ruin my rods, because copper wire doesn't last forever. And I don't feel like there's only a limited amount of things I can do with it. Like, I mean, the main thing it would be trolling, like for mackerel. Because we got 2 trolling rods down there. Both work very nice. Very nice. I don't know. I feel like if it works for salmon, it works for mackerel. And that being said, I still have yet to catch my first king. In fact, none of us have caught a king mackerel. Goby's caught a wahoo before in Hawaii, but he was with one of our relatives who is was a charter down there, and I'm the scout, but I'll get a walleye soon. I know I've done way more than 300 setups by now, but I'm just gonna start at 300, and then I can like go back and count them up later. I wish I had one of those clicker things so I could like talk and just click. You know, those things they use on like the buses to like count the kids when they get in, or like at a crowd. They just like, I've only seen them. I don't think I've ever seen them in a store. About 310, 311. 311, that was a good concert I saw them. God, jeez, I have so much ADHD, it's not even funny. I can't even count. That's how bad it is. Anyway. Loki's purchased so much shit off Amazon. Most of it, like terminal tackle, he's found. But he also got this one weird, like, Chinese fishing pole that's like 30 fucking feet long. He's only used it once, and it did not work. I told him it wouldn't work. I should have a video of him using it, so I'll post that one soon. But yeah, I don't know where that guy's getting his stuff. If you are wondering about his flathead setup, he does use braided line on a Daiwa reel. He has about 3 of the same Daiwa rod. And that's where I've seen him have the most success, is on those. They're like, honestly, medium rods, probably less than that on. But he's not using ultra heavy, he's not using heavy, he's not using heavy action, he's not using medium heavy. He's using just like a regular Daiwa rod. I mean, you would use inshore for red drum or something. Shout out to him too, he caught his first red drum this year. Great to see. Mine was bigger though. So I PB'd on a 16-pound red drum earlier this year. With red drum, it's interesting. Every time I go red drum fishing, I learn something new. They're just awesome fish. And what I learned this time was around dusk. Well, I already knew this, but around dusk they feed, right? But they are active. Like, they don't ambush. So they go out and they start hunting. So if you go out in like a kayak or something, you have such an advantage over like people in, freaking boats or like walking along shore. Because it also, when you're like eye level with the water, you can see them breach the surface. And red drum will, and you can see their tails sometimes come out of the water when they're feeding. And it's not like largemouth bass where they're splashing around creating a scene, but they're just like calm and coolly like herding bait into like the shallows and then picking off the weak ones. So that's how I caught it. I was thinking like structure, because I actually wanted to catch a black drum. I haven't caught one of those in a while. And so I went down to the bridge, and then I saw the commotion, and I threw a live minute out there on a 2-drop bottom rig on one of my new rods that I actually found. Looks like a dial, but it's not. It's some off-brand called Excalibur. I can't even find their fishing rod online, but it's a nice setup. But he destroyed those mud minnows. Like, I don't even know if I put my rod down before he got it. I've also had success on that Redfish Magic Strike King or Strike Pro lure. Redfish Magic, that's it. It's just a basic extended bait, but it's weedless. You can drag it through all those reeds and, they'll be there. It killed me though that I wasn't able to get down the beach as much as I should have been this year, but that'll change next year when I move down to the beach in Emerald Isle. Because just last week we had a tarpon caught right off the pier where I always fish. 150-pound tarpon. And that hurts. I've seen them down there, and I mean they're pretty rare. Not pretty rare in North Carolina, but if you go somewhere like Florida, you're gonna see one. North Carolina, give or take. If you want to catch tarpon, it's not the best place, but occasionally the best time to catch them would be during the mullet run in like late March, early April, when the mullet come down the East Coast back from the Gulf, and all those sharks and bluefish and snook and tarpon are chasing them for miles and miles. That would be your best bet if you want to catch a tarpon in North Carolina. Other than that, it's just fat fucking mud. Jesus, guys, I don't even know what number I'm on. I'm just gonna throw a number out there. What did I say? About 5 minutes ago, I said like 300. So I've definitely done over 500, but I'm gonna go back to 400. Again, I'm gonna count all these up and get an exact number. So I'll just start at 400. can't hurt to do extra. I don't think. I mean, it hurts, but it's the shit nobody else does. And this isn't even fucking work for me, man. It's like, if I just like start talking like I am right now, and just not even thinking about it, it's like better than sitting still, honestly. I wish I could like sit in a classroom like this. I need to start using my fingers again to count because I've already lost track. It was like, we'll say 410, 411, 412. I'm just gonna count the rest of the way there. I can't. Then I'll talk about fishing afterwards. 413, 414, 415, 416, 417, 418, 419, 420, 421, 422. Oh god, 423, 424, 425, 426, 427, 428, 431, 432, 433, 434, 435, 436, 437, 438. Oh my god, 439, 440, 441, 448, 444, 445, 446, 447, 448, 449, 450. I just had the worst fucking voice crack in my life. 52, 453. Oh god, 454, 455, 456, 457, 458, 459, 460, 461, 462, 464, 465, 466, 467. I haven't even worked out today. I still need to go work out. 468. It's a light day. 470. Thank God. 471. 472. 473. Unfortunately, that means 474. 476. Hip press. 478. 479. 480. 481. Oh my god, 482. 483. This is a lot harder than it was the other day. 484. 40. 486. 487. 489. 490. God damn it. 491. 492. 493. 494. 495. 496. Oh Oh my god, 497. 498. 499. We're fucking halfway there, finally. 501. 502. 503. 504. 505. 506. 507. 508. 509. 510. 511. That's my height. 512. I'll never reach that height. 513. That's what the doctor said. 514. 515. 516. 517. 518. 519. 520. 521. 522. 523. 524. 525. 526. 527. I'm just gonna give a shout out to my cousin Luke for making this YouTube channel. Luke hasn't been active on here for a while, but he is the brains behind this great channel, and he's been working hard on his jiu-jitsu, and when he finds time he tries to fish, but those fishing spots that he had earlier got taken over by construction. But I appreciate that he made this channel, and that it's as big as it is. Like, we just made it it still is a joke, but it's a joke that we take a little more seriously. After we got like 2 or 3 of our videos taken down by YouTube for inappropriate behavior. Not our proudest moments. Definitely worth it. Good time. We're at 541. 542. 543. 544. 545. 546. I have nobody else to give a shout out to. 547. 548. 549. 550. I guess I'll 551. 552. 553. Oh my god. 554. 555. 556. 557. 558. 559. 560. 561. 562. 563. 564. 565. 566. 567. 568. 569. 570. 571. 572. 573. 574. 575. 576. 577. 578. 579. looked at what's going on in the thing over there. 582. 583. 586. Oh, I got one fucking light. Let's go. 587. 588. 589. Just for that, I'll do an extra 100. How about that? 581. I already said 581, didn't I? 592. 593. 594. 595. 596. 597. 598. 599. 600. 601. 602. 603. I do about 3 different types of sit-ups when I'm doing this. There's the conventional sit-up, you know, arms behind the head. That's the best one. Then there's like the one we're always taught in gym class, and that's the one where you cross your arms, which I feel it just puts more strain on your shoulders and back, so you're hunched over. So I don't like that one as much. And then there's this one, which just looks weird, where you keep your arms straight out. But I don't really feel that one. And you can do this one too. I feel like I did this one without even saying anything. I don't know why. It's like, it feels easiest to me. If I do this, I feel like I use my upper abs because I'm supporting my head. But what you don't want to do is, you know, use your body to like throw yourself up. You know, when people will like, that's not a sit up. It's like throwing your back out. We have not stopped 626 since the video started. And this is just an estimated number. I am not actually sure how many I've done, but it is around 626. 627. 628. 629. 630. Let's be honest, this is probably more entertaining than watching me fight a stingray, bro. 36. 37. 38. 39. 40. 41. 642. 643. Oh my god, 644. 845. 648. 649. 650. 651. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Spit out my gum real quick. I've probably burnt 200 or 300 calories by now. So I gotta like refuel. I bought this at like 11:30 last night at a gas station because I couldn't sleep and I have no food in my dorm. But I think I'll save the rest for afterwards. I just need to get over that hump of 800. But that's usually when things start hurting. How many calories do you think this is? You don't want to know. I wish I didn't read that. I passed 650 right a while ago. You can also do like long arm crunches. They say that's for upper abs, but I just don't feel it. I feel it in my shoulders. Maybe because I'm not doing it right. You could do these. You come in, you go underneath your legs. What I usually do is like individually. So like I just need to count. I may be at 1,000 already, and I may just be like so fucking distracted. 661, 663, 660, 664, 665, 666, 667, 668. I'm on the roll here, and this is gonna be fun. 669, 670. There it is again. 601. You know, I'm just gonna say 600, 672, 673, 674. Just for that, I should probably do like an extra 500 if that was not funny. 675, 676, 677, 678. I split the 679, 680, 681, 682, 653, 684, 680, 682, 687, 688, 689, 700, 701, 702. Wait, that doesn't seem right. I was just at 600. I'm gonna back it up. 673. 670. 678. 79, 680, 81, 672, 673. Thinking about food right now. 684, 685. Which reminded me. 86, 688, 700, 700. I don't know if I'm gonna get like flagged for taking my shirt off soon. Maybe it will get flagged. Oh, that's weird. All of a sudden, like 10 people just joined. We're at 7:10. No, not yet. Now we're at 7:10. Now we're at 7:11. 7:11. I haven't seen one of those in forever, man. Seven, 17. 11, 18. 7, 19. 7:20. 7:21. 22. Can't break form here. 7:23. 24. 26. 7:27. 7:28. 7:29. The first video I'm going to upload is the one at the dam where me and Loki both doubled up on 2 30+ pounders. That was quite the night. And then ever since then it's just been kind of and then this video of Justin catching a 7-8 pound channel catfish on a fucking food from the cafe at our school. Put on a turkey sausage about like that big, and it took about 2 minutes before that thing was gone. Never seen anything like that in my life. That is until my cousin that I met the other day showed me a gar his friend caught on a bait. Yeah, a bait. He straight up threw like one of a pink bait. He just threw it out there and the gar bit it. So that's funny and concerning, and we'll definitely go on one of our top 10 craziest catches. Along with the mysterious tilapia that just showed up last year. Although we figured out where it came from. It came from the Grand Asian Market about 2 miles from that lake. They sell them alive. $7 per pound. Oh God. Speaking of that tilapia, he is in fact still alive after we released him into my pond right before I came to college. When I visited the pond one last time to go carp fishing, he had built himself a little nest, so he survived the winter miraculously. I don't know how, but he's making his little nest for nobody because he's oh, it's closing in on 7:40. I got some 36. It's 7:38. 39. Yeah, I've done way more than 1,000. I've just been talking and backtrack. 40. 7:41. My abs are on fire. 7:42. 43. 44. 45. 7:46. 7:47. 7:48. 7:49. 7:50. 1. 2. 53. 7:54. 55. Oh my God, 7:57. 7:58. 7:59. 7:62. 63. 64. 65. 766. 767. 768. 769. 85. 86. 88. Right. Closing in on 200 to go. I think it's 200. What comes after 700? Oh, after 95. 96. 77. Holy crap. Yeah, I'm gonna need more calories. That's getting to finish. The finish. The. What time is it, chat? It's 7:20. When did I start it? This has gotten so boring. This is it. I had nothing to do for 100 something more sit-ups. Eight, 18, 8, 19, 8, 20, 21, 8, 22, 8, 23, 8, 24, 8, 25, 26, 27, 8, 28, 8, 29, 30, 8, 42, 843, 844, 845. Can't believe there are people still watching this. 846, 847, 848, 849, 850. Depends on how well this video does. It might become a regular thing. Me and Justin have been doing in between fishing. Whenever we're in kind of a lull period, we'll knock out like 100 or 200 push-ups. If you can't do it at night, but either 2 sets of 50, 3 sets of, no, 2 sets of 50. What the fuck? 6 sets of 20? Wait, no. Dude, I can't fucking do that. Wait, no, 2 sets of 50. 3 sets of Alright, well, in short, either 2 sets of 50 or something, and then like you could do like 10 sets of 10. All of this is above my upper body too. Like, my chest kind of feels like it's getting a pump. There's 100 to go, man. I'm just gonna count down from 100. 99. 98. 97. 96. 35. 34. 32. 88. 84. 69. 8. 65. 66. 47. 45. 4, 3, 2, 1. Home stretch. 28. 21. 22. 41. 19. 18. 18, 14, 13, 12, 11. That's 10. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, for goodness. Oh my god, I'm done. I'm done. Well, I don't know how many calories I burnt, but I need to eat again. That was insane. How many people are left? It's like one or two. It's like one or two people. Dude, why is my camera like so bad? Alright. The camera quality has gotten absolutely horrible. My shirt is still drenched. I took it off around 500, so there's one person left. That is insane. Oh, they're gone, I think. I thought there was like at one point like 7 people on here, man. But I feel like most people thought I was gonna like just talk about fishing or something on here, which I was, and I was trying to do, but I just can't multitask. So. But the shark rig that I was making, I'll show you. The one and last person that's still here. If I can find my shark rig. Oh, it fell on the floor here. And I can like get off. What? Jesus. H. Christ. Fuck. Okay, well, that's crazy, right? So. Shark rig with, well, I handcrafted from scratch. Is 80-pound shock leader, so that, you know, if it's a spinner shark, especially when they jump, they're throwing their head around, they're not gonna like, the weight's not gonna snap the line, because that's usually what happens if you run straight braid down to a shark rig. The braid wraps around the wire, and then it just cuts, like, the wire just cuts it. So that's what the shock leader is for. Again, the hook is not ideal. I just ordered some size 10 hooks on eBay and Temu too. But so this is just like prototype. We got, I think it's like a, not even, it might be a 6. It might be a 5. And I got like the this was like straight up construction cable. This isn't even fishing wire. So, but it'll work. And then I crimped it down here. It's about a little less than a foot. I crimped it down here with the AFW, American Fishing Wire crimp. Just a huge barrel swivel, and then 80 pounds. You could use like anything. I'd use anything above 70 pounds, honestly. And I have about, you know, a little bit longer of a shock leader. I actually don't like that I made the shock leader longer than the actual rig, but we'll see how that turns out. So, and ran about like 1.5 feet, maybe 1.25 feet, up to some fluorescent beads and another snap swivel and clip for the weight, so the weight can slide up and down. And then I actually didn't crimp this. I tied the Palomar knot on it because I don't think you need to crimp 80 pound line. I think you can actually, if you're like good like me at fishing, you can use the Palomar knot. I can't tie a knot in stainless steel cable though, unfortunately. I'm not I'm not that strong yet. I can do 1,000 sit-ups. I just can't bend and tie wire yet. So one day I'll be able to do that. But yeah, that's gonna be fun to use this. I'm gonna make a bunch of these. I might, uh, depending on how they work, I might start selling them. Um, because the braking strength would be insane. I mean, like there's shark leaders that you see on Amazon and eBay. Those things are like not high quality. I bought them, I bought 3 of them a few years ago, and the leader was so long I couldn't even cast it. Like it was so long, like it must have been 6 feet of leader. It was as big as my rod, and I couldn't even cast it. I could only drop it off the dock, but it was a pain. It would just get in a knot when I casted it and stuff. I'd like wrap it in a loop to cast it. And then the fire leader that I was talking about, oh shit, it should be in here. It's not. I don't know where it is. Just kidding, I know where it is. Yeah, so this is the construction type cable stuff. Like it's not even fishing line. It's pretty damn thick. And it doesn't fray, which I was afraid it would start to fray. And it actually doesn't kink either. It's very like bendable. Because I mean, with most wire leader, I mean you kink it. Like it's like permanent kink. Uh-oh. And it came with crimps too. But I won't mispronounce the brand name because I don't want to do false information, but I'll make a separate video when I learn how to pronounce this company's name correctly, and then you can look them up on Amazon and buy. I don't know, it's over 100 yards of cable, and then it should work for grouper too. Maybe, I mean, with the tuna they were hooking off, what's the Jeanette's Pier earlier in March, after work too, 45. Why did I say 45? I think it's 45, breaking strength. I don't know, this is old, this is my grandfather, but it still works. 18 kilogram. 40 stainless steel, 300. Yeah, I don't exactly know how thick this is, but it's this is what I'm planning on using the Albright knot to. So what I learned when I was salmon fishing is using the braid as backing, and then using this as your main line. It's copper, and essentially it's just gonna, if you, or especially if you're trolling, it's just gonna, you can run just a clip and it's not gonna, kink or something, and you can use your, it'll sink faster. The heavier the braid, the more it'll sink. The heavier the copper, the more it'll sink. And I have some coming in shipment. I've ordered some stainless steel. I think it's like carbon or something. It's not copper, but it's a little bit heavier than copper. So it should sink a little faster. And when you're trolling, you want that line to sink. So I'm hoping next season, next summer, spring even, when I get down to the beach and start fishing around, that I can start rigging up for mackerel with this stuff. And I'm trying to tie some haywire twists and some stinger rigs, but it's not really working out. I'm not the best at that yet. I have a whole winter to practice. However, the shark rigs, I've got them nailed down, so that's gonna be fun. And there's no way something's gonna bite through that. There's just no way something's gonna bite through that. If it is, then I don't know I don't know what to do. Like, I mean, you talk about the stingrays, but they're just like right off the dock that I hook. I mean, I don't even know how big they are. Like, they can be anywhere from like, once they get over like 50 pounds, man, it's like it doesn't matter how big it is. It could be 100 pounds, it could be 500 pounds. It's gonna do the same thing. It's gonna play the game where it just sits on the bottom, and you're like, you're working your ass off to pull it off the bottom while it's just resting. And then while it's resting, it gains it gathers up that energy, and that it builds up those bursts of speed where it'll just lift itself off the bottom when you loosen your grip, and it'll just take off, and you have to work on pulling it back again. But with copper and steel wire, the stingray, it's not gonna really like the feel of that if you have that on its mouth is on the bottom of it, so if it's in its mouth, it's not gonna like that feel. If you keep letting it know that you're still there by plucking the line, they hate that. And I feel like the stronger the more texture the line has, the more, twang it's gonna make, which they hate. They hate that. So if they're stuck on the bottom, so then this could be a lifesaver. Who knows? I mean, I got snapped off. I finally caught that one shark off the dock in Emerald, but I've been snapped off there like countless other times, and I have all the videos to prove that there's like monsters out there. As soon as those lights go out, man, I just think it's mostly stingrays and sharks, but I'm pretty sure I've hooked a tarpon, and I mean, and people have hooked grouper out there. I just don't think it's deep enough for grouper. There's not really enough structure, but I mean, it's possible. It's a big black drum, which I will be trying to go for this winter. We'll be making a video on that, because unlike most of the fish here that, even on the coast, when the fishing starts to slow down, the big ones like are just non-existent. You might get some whiting and stuff. With black drum, they actually run more in numbers in the winter, and that's when those big ones are typically caught, is under the bridges in the winter. In the fall months, you got to get out there in the early morning, and throw a crab or something, like some shellfish under the bridge, and just sit there. I mean, the water will be cold, the air will be cold, but they'll be there. And I mean, you gotta get I'm trying to figure out like exactly how, but blue crab, I've heard, is the best, so that'll be an interesting video to make after I get all these summer videos posted. Depending on how that goes, planning on tackling them from a kayak. So, and if anything, if we just get some small nice ones, we'll do a catch and cook video with them, because black drum and red drum are tasty. If you close your eyes, you won't tell the difference between them. So, and what else? Oh, for the carp. Everyone's been asking me about the carp I've been catching this summer. The rigs I've been using 2 different rigs. I always use the hair rig, which I don't have with me right now. But I have others I showed in some videos. And then there's a new rig that I've been using. I've had it for a while, and it's like unlike anything you've ever seen before. I don't even really know how it works. I've had it for like 6 years. I never used it. I got it off some Chinese company. I thought I got scammed, but I was just a little kid, and I didn't even know what I was doing. I had money, and I just ordered something that looked cool. So, but apparently it works. It's got like a cage. It's called like an inline feeder rig or something. but I never knew how to use it because the instructions were in freaking Chinese, and I don't know Chinese. And so after years and years of trial and error, I figured out all you have to do is just like put the goddamn rig in 2 slices of bread like a fucking sandwich and make a giant dough ball, and you throw it out there, and for some reason they'll eat that, and they get their weird mouth stuck on like one of the 6 or 7 hooks. I didn't even mean to do that. One of the many hooks that are on there. So it's a pretty cool method. I just don't understand really why it works, and I feel bad for the fish when they have like a mouthful of like more than 5 hooks. So, but I don't even know if they sell it anymore. I'm pretty sure they do. But anyway, the hair rig, that's like just the go-to rig, man. That's how I caught the 29 pounder. That's how I caught the 40 pounder. That's how I would catch anything bigger if I see it. But sight fishing, man, it's not too late to catch carp. If that common carp in the winters are still in the creeks. So those of you trying to still catch carp, your first carp, or like asking me like what, like the grass carp, they'll go like you won't see them. I don't really know what they do per se, but you know, if I didn't know that they were still in the pond, I would say they just died and come back to life. But they're weird fish. But the common carp, still try for them. I mean, you just use regular corn, and or I think you can still use bread. Worms work too, but especially if you're in the Raleigh area, the Crabtree Creek is usually really good for common carp. I've caught a number of common carp off there. The spillway usually runs really good. Even the lake itself, Crabtree, is full of common carp. You just use corn or bread, like the method, and you'll get one. And there's no like time of day. They aren't nocturnal. They should be there. But I wouldn't start trying to go for them until it gets a little bit colder, just because you're going to get swamped by little bullheads and catfish still, and it's going to be annoying, and they're going to get some bait birds. So, and turtles too. We've seen a number of snapping turtles this week. Loki hooked up on one. I got one, and Jack, the newest member, hooked one. Yeah, so and if you have any bait on the bottom, the snapping turtle's just gonna find it, you know. They're not fun to deal with. Which apparently you can eat them. I've heard it. I'm not gonna do it unless, you know, people ask me like to make a video on it, but I'm not gonna do that. Not yet. I'm gonna try stingray though. Gonna try stingray. Next stingray we catch, we're gonna cook it. So if you guys have any recipes for the wings, I really would like some input, because I've heard it tastes like scallops, so we'll see. And they're not hard to catch, and there's too many of them down there. Anyway, it's getting light. This light's getting in my eyes, and I can't fucking see. I need to take a shower. And this wasn't even supposed to be a fishing video. This was just supposed to be a 1,000 sit-ups challenge. Probably more. I'll have to check it out. And recount them. But I got to sum up some of the summer and the season we had, and reveal some upcoming events. But I hope the camera quality was a little bit better than what it looks like here. I'm afraid it was probably worse, because I dropped my phone in the water so many times this summer. But 91 fucking minutes. Holy shit. Okay. I don't think this thing is gonna upload. Oh my god. No, we haven't done a live in a while. So this was cool. But some more updates to come. How do you say